Hey guys, welcome to a new video. In this video, I will be talking about my thoughts on the Angry Birds epic classes. So, as you can see here, I will be doing red classes, red, Chuck, Matilda, Bomb, and the blues in that order. So, yeah, this is also based on, like, what I think their abilities are like. Let's start off with red. Okay, so the first one for red is the Knight. Knight has, an attack that deals 115% damage. It's called Attack. I know, generic. For, the first hat that you unlock in the game. And it forces the enemy to attack red for 3 turns. Now, Princess does this better, somewhat. Princess does do this better, because it's for all pigs at once, even if it only damages one enemy, and it is currently the enemy with the ally, with the highest health, highest current health. Although, if your birds are on full health, then it will basically be highest maximum health. And, so it wouldn't synergize that well with Princess. It's just like the shield and healing. Plus, the taunt can be a bit problematic if red has low health. It has a high shield. It's, the highest shield of all red hats, but, the damage is decent. However, the shield is only single target, and it lasts for 2 turns, which wears off quickly. So, yeah, I personally think that Knight is a D. Next, we have the Guardian. So, Guardian goes into A, which is ironically the second best tier. D is the second worst. Now, Guardian doesn't seem that used that much, even after people are just constantly saying Guardian is better than Samurai. Spoilers, Samurai will be placed in a separate tier from Guardian, and it's also a higher one. Now, let's start off with the damage. The damage is slightly lower than Knight, but it does have this 25% debuff, but it lasts for one less turn. But it can be useful if you can if from enemies who dispel, except for the adventurer pig and battle scarred pirate, because they are immune to negative effects. But other than that, against most dispellers, the 25% debuff does help. And even once added with Cannoneer for 45% reduced attack power on enemies, if you want to rule out support skills from being used. The next thing is the shield. It is very, very lower than Knight, but it does last for twice as many turns. I think it's 4 turns, and it's for all birds. This makes it better than Knight. It has the longest lasting defense and longest lasting support skill in general. However, saying it's S is a bit of a stretch. So, I think Guardian is more of an A than an S. But that's just me. Next, we have the Samurai. Now, Samurai is overrated. Yes, it is. But I still prefer it over Guardian. I know that the shield only lasts 1 turn for shield spamming, but I'll get to that later. Let's just focus on the attack. So it deals 3 mini attacks basically, but it deals the highest damage when combined. So yeah, it is helpful against ninjas and pirates because it doesn't inflict any effects onto them. And it can also in charge attacks because most charge attack enemies have high health. Like, the fact that you... And also, the shield is way better than Guardians. I know Guardians last, like, 4 times longer, but, I do think that Samurai is the better Guardian, since it deals and prevents more damage. Then we have, like... Yeah, the shield is 50% target and 40% all birds. While you would have to spam shields, it's sometimes, like, it's not often that you need to reapply defense multiple turns in a row. But I think that's only if you have, like, a good heal system. But even if the heal system you're pairing Samurai with isn't that good, if you do have the Protectors Aura set, the shield spamming won't be as common. Or if you have, like, Vigor on red, if the set for red has Vigor. And, like, yeah, so in my opinion, Samurai is S tier. Next we have Paladin. So I was indecisive of how I would rank Paladin, but but I'm not doing Paladin just yet. I'm going to do the Avenger first. Now, it's going in F tier, which is the worst tier. There is no E tier. I didn't really think E tier was a very fitting spot to put things, but yeah, like, so let me explain what the Avenger. So basically he deals low damage. I think it's the lowest base damage for, like, red that red can deal. I think it's like, yeah, but it does increase as red loses health. Like, to deal any high damage, you have to be at, like, 1% health or some shit. I think it's actually below 20% health, but I think it contradicts the main goal of the game, as you want to get 3 stars, you need to have, like, no deaths, finish the battle as quickly as you can, and have all birds at full health, and all of them have to survive, as I mentioned earlier, with no deaths. Like, yeah, the shield, I think, is even worse, because it has, like, the it has the lowest defense for all red hats, 20% less damage. The same as the Protector's Aura set, but it lasts 2 turns, same as Knight, and in addition, it is also single target, just like Knight. See, this even makes Knight look useful in comparison. Like, so yeah, I'm going to put Avenger in F. Doesn't have much use. Next, we have the Paladin, which I did mention earlier. I was undecisive where I should rank it, but I'm putting it in B. I do have the Paladin myself. It's low mastery because it's when you buy premiums after not buying any, like, regular classes, they normally have, like, half the mastery. But I did use him a bit, and he did gain a bit of mastery. But let me explain. What do I personally think of the Paladin? Well, he's alright. Like, he's just a better version of the Knight. Like, better offense, higher damage, with some healing. The shield, I don't think Knight's shield is better. It's higher, but I think it's just because it lasts longer, and red can block damage, well, reduce damage without the need of taunts. Now, normally, if I think lower but lasts longer, I don't really think it's better, like with Guardian and Samurai, but for Paladin and Knight, I think it makes a more significant difference. Like, Yeah. But yeah, most people say that premiums are bad because of like the price, which is just while like MFK was around. To be fair, the gold glitch that Piggy McCool XD discovered wasn't known at the time, but like no date glitch, no nothing, but he did say it was decent but can't protect you from group attacks, which is the main issue I have with Paladin. Because a lot of pigs in like the story and caves have these huge area attacks, especially Demonic Whizpig. I've seen Angry Bird's Nest use Paladin against Demonic Whizpig, and yeah, he could be useful in like the first wave, but if it's in like the second wave, like you definitely need Samurai. Like, he's the highest priority that you would need for that, like, level. And, yeah, next we have Stone Guard. Stone Guard is I think a B or C. I don't know. I think he's a B. While he... Like, yeah, so let's start off with his attack. It's just Samurai, but 2 hits. Yeah, but each mini attack is more than Samurai. However, combined is, like, less damage because it's, like, I think it's 2 hits instead of 3. But it does deal more than Samurai if an enemy has, like, the negative effects. This isn't as good against pirates, but the damage is still pretty high with if you're not attacking an enemy with negative effects. However, the shield can't protect you from pirates. It just... You have to take the full damage in exchange for, like, a 40% debuff. And it's just not really recommended. If all birds had the like texture of that of the ancestral protection shield, it already lowered the attack power of all enemies by 40% when it's applied for like 3 turns, then it would have been better. But I think that would be a bit overkill. But I do think Stone Guard, because Stone Guard doesn't have like full-time shield and like it's a premium, it doesn't really mean it's bad. But it could be worse. Like, still better than, like, Knight and Avenger, but worse than Paladin. But the design is pretty cool, though. I'll give it that, but design points are more necessary for upgrades than, like, the base hats. Anyways. Next, I'm going to be doing the Chuck hats.